All right, here we go. Presenting a sponsor for the Husker game recaps is Dingman's Collision Center. What sets Dingman's apart? Locally owned, family operated. They live in the Omaha community. They have pride in the community. The roots run deep there. They are the trusted name in collision repair in Omaha. Almost 30 years, they built a reputation by doing things the right way and taking care of people one repair at a time, earning them to be voted first place in Best of Omaha for 20 straight years. That's amazing. 4 locations across the Omaha metro area, 120th in Maple, 144th and Industrial Road, 50th in Saddle Creek, and in downtown Papillion. Proud to be partnering with Dingman's Collision Repair. That man right there is Bo Ruud. I'm Nicholas Allen Bahe. Nebraska wins. They beat Maryland 34-31. I don't want to go all Jimmy Johnson on you, but how about them Corn Huskers? Wild game. I mean, wild game. Back and forth, big plays, big swings. I don't even know where to, I guess I'm just going to kind of cross things off the list here. I think we both can agree the running total now is up to 3 games that Nebraska has won this year that I'm not sure they would have won in years past. Obviously got Cincinnati game, Michigan State game, and now this Maryland game. So
almost certain we don't win those 3 games.
That game, especially the Maryland game. The Maryland game had all of the ingredients of like a Husker kicking the nuts loss over the last 10 years. Yep. Does it not?
Yep.
The other thought I have before we get like into the nitty gritty. I talked to my dad after the game and we were just chatting. That's one of the most impressive skill position games from Nebraska in a very long time. This wasn't just like Adrian Martinez making plays or just Jordan Westerkamp making plays. Nebraska had multiple skill position guys making big time plays. Emmett Johnson, Hunter, Key, Lindenmeyer, Harburg's catch on the last drive. Of course, Dylan Raiola. I want to start with that. That was an amazing skill game for Nebraska.
Probably what felt the most different about that game from years past was I was just thinking like a kickoff return, a long run. We just didn't see much of that for years.
Yes.
Years at a time. And we got a lot of it. We're getting more this season, and we got a lot of it in one game.
Yeah. It felt like for years it was other teams making these long runs or why can't we get a guy like that? Or where can Nebraska have a guy like that? Or
we have to earn it every time. Like the drive would be 12 plays, 7 minutes, and we finally got a score. But we're making big plays. And it's sort of what's hard to understand about this moment is we're so not used to it that the swings can come faster because we can score faster.
Yes, where you sit there and you go, okay, we talked about this after the Cincinnati game, but what's it take to get over the top? What do you have to do to win that game that we're talking about here where it feels like years past you just don't win it? Well, it starts with Emmett Johnson and just being you know what? You can't fucking tackle me, okay? I'm not going to get tackled today. And Lindenmeyer breaking some tackles and Hunter making play. Sometimes it's just as simple as just one guy stepping up and just being better than the guy in front of him.
You got to make plays. You got to make those plays to extend drives. You got to make those plays when you get opportunities.
A part of what made everything feel so crazy yesterday was just let's get inside the Nebraska's final drive to win the game.
Okay.
How historic was it? Well, let's get into it. October 2017 was the last time Nebraska scored on its final offensive possession when trailing to win the game. At Purdue, Tanner Lee, Stanley Morgan, and that was a 2017 team that was going nowhere. I mean, Riley was
2017.
2017. So think about this now. Stumanji on Twitter has the whole spreadsheet. I pulled it from him. Shouts out to Stumanji. Since then, so from 2018 on, okay?
Scott Frost arrives
to the toe meeting leather in this. Yeah. So right before the game starts against Maryland, okay? Nebraska has had 33 opportunities to score on the final offensive possession when tied or losing by 8 points or less, okay? they've only scored points, just scored points 3 times.
30 times.
And they've only won 1 time. So say it out loud. Since 2018, Nebraska had only scored points on the final drive when trailing or tied 3 out of 33 times. And their record in those games were 1-32.
Wow.
So when Dylan Raiola took the field trailing 31-27 with 3 minutes and 42 seconds left, the reason it feels like, boy, I haven't won a game like that in a while is because you effing haven't won a game like that in a long time. Think about that for a moment. Like really set
the 3% winning percentage in those moments. That's unbelievable.
Unreal. 33 opportunities. You've won 1 time. You've only scored points 3 times. 2 field goals and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a historic getting over the hump. I feel like that we'll forgive a lot that went bad that game because it feels so good, and I think we do need to just take a moment and celebrate it.
Yes.
Even though, like, we can definitely get into some of the, like, what's going on, but I mean, it is huge. It's historic. It needs to be celebrated.
Okay, so we'll get into some specific plays, but I do want to. Can we just start on the offensive side of the ball, and we'll just kind of hit on a handful of different things.
Yep.
So first of all, let's start positive. Again, I feel like I'm full of like hyperbole today, I guess, but like Emmit Johnson. It's the best game by a Nebraska running back since Amir Abdullah. I think
for sure.
I mean, so we're going all the way back to 2014, guys. It's 2025. I've not seen a better running back performance than that. It was just, I looked it up out of curiosity. I was like, well, let me go back in 2014 and find the best individual game Amir had. October 25th, 2014, Amir Abdullah had 225 yards rushing against Rutgers. So I'll say since October 25th, 2014, this is finally like, this is the best performance. He had 21 carries, 176 yards, 2 catches, 20 yards. And that 50-yard run on the second, like, that gave me some feet. Like, I haven't felt that way watching an individual guy just be like, just
because he put it on his shoulders and he was breaking. It was like when we needed him to do it too, he did it. That's the part. It's not just, wow, we had a guy go for 100 yards in a game that mattered or didn't. It was like the game mattered. The moment was crucial, and he really was like, he was doing things over and beyond on that run.
Yes.
And really all game, I don't think he ever didn't break a tackle on a run. You know, like every run he broke at least like 2 tackles or like got an extra few yards each carry.
Yes.
And that I haven't seen that since Amir. Amir was like all time at getting like 4 or 5 yards when it should have been a loss or something.
Right.
So like Emmett is starting to channel some of that where he's getting those yards when there should be no yards. And then when he gets a chance, he's turning things into bigger plays.
That run just, now it's easy to say now because you know that Nebraska goes on to win the game, but that run just felt like you could kind of feel it in the moment. Like that was a tone setting, like we're not effing losing this game kind of play.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has 176 yards rushing. He has 2 catches for 20 yards. So he almost has 200 yards of offense, just him.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about that guy. Now, what's interesting then, the next thing I want to talk about, we'll get more into Emmett because I got a feeling he's going to be the peerless guy here, but did you find yourself? So I watched the game at my parents' house. My parents are out of town. I went to my parents' house to watch it because we have family here. I wanted some privacy. And then like our dishwasher's busted and I had to like take dishes over to do the dish, all that stuff. Wow. I was like, it was
dishes over.
It was great, but so I'm by myself. I said it out loud numerous times. Did you give the ball to Emmit Johnson? Like, what are you doing? Especially around the goal line, there were a couple of trips to the red zone that only resulted in 2 field goals that were just perplexing as to why they went away from Emmit Johnson, one of which was right after that amazing 50-yard run. Were you yelling the same thing that I was?
Yes, especially I think there was one. We'll talk about that later. There's one time where I think it was a time management mistake not to give it to Emmett. Like you need to give it to Emmett that moment to get the clock to run down. But I do think as time goes on, it's become clear when the offense runs through Emmett, everything works out.
You've said that. You've been saying that from like day one.
Yeah, I really have seen that in him. Like he settles us down and he gets us on track. Like something about when he is consistently touching it, good things happen, right? He's a good player.
Yep.
This was the best we've seen out of Emmett. Like this is like we say, hey, we're not going to call Emmett a great back till he gives us like a great. This was like a borderline great game. I wouldn't know that it was borderline great.
Right.
And so this was like Emmett taking like everything he had and like going almost to another level.
Yep.
So this was huge, but I think the rest of the season, like I just don't. You can't care. You just got to give this guy the rock. Like forget about wear on the tires. Like this is Emmett's season to give him 20 to 27 touches a game.
Yes.
Like that's just going to be it. Like when he had like 10 to 13 touches against a few like Michigan, like I feel like we just like the whole offense got out of whack.
Couldn't agree more. So what's weird is he does end up with 21 carries, but I wanted I mean, I suppose you can't give the guy like 34 carries. I don't know.
5 more carries probably shifts the dynamic in those moments where we get way out of kilter.
It's weird. Help me understand. So one of the issues, the pressing issues, is clearly this team has a hard time in deep red zone scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's like now Dylan did throw for a lot of a couple of touchdowns deep in the red zone, but at the same time, why do they abandon Emmett when they get inside the 15?
I feel like they always lose one down right when they get to close to the goal line.
Yeah.
When they attempt it, they go for it on like a targeted fade or like a hard play action. They go for the score and they get off of track essentially. And then they get behind. Like I feel like every single second down in the red zone, we will never run it. Basically.
Well, so go through a couple of like the first drive of the game. Nebraska, Emmett's clearly like, I don't know if they gave him a Red Bull vodka before the game. I don't know if he had, I don't know what he had. I don't know if he had a Mountain Dew, whatever it was, he was rolling right away.
Yeah.
He is marching down the field and they go away from him and they end up going for it on 4th down and he gets stuffed. But then Key has the big tunnel screen again, or Hunter has a big tunnel screen to go up 7-0. But then Nebraska gets the ball all the way down to the 14 again. They put Harburg at quarterback and run that little quarterback sweep. He gets hit for a 2-yard loss. Then this was a little unfortunate. Dylan Raiola does hit Key on a crosser for a touchdown, but Emmett it was like an inadvertent.
Unless he's the best actor in the world, he really looked like he was running a route to me almost.
Yeah, I was wondering does there have to be intentionality?
I think yes, I think there does, but in this case, it was. I think it was just bad timing, right? It was just unfortunate that it was that much contact right when he caught the ball or right before he got the ball. Because I really think Emmett was truly like running a route and was like turning his head and they ran into each other. He wasn't looking at the guy. Usually they square him up.
They square up or they kind of like get in their way enough because you just need to get in the guy's way enough.
You usually see them intentionally like square up and like, it's almost like a block. It was where Emmett was like, he was running around.
What it reminded me of, in movies where there's like some office scene where a guy's got like a bunch of papers and he turns the corner, runs into a guy, and papers go everywhere. And they're like, it's usually how then a guy and a girl look at each other and they fall in love. I feel like the corner and Emmett were like, oh, sorry. Oh my God, I'm going to truck you later. But so that backs them up. They run a screen to Emmett to get 10 yards. Then there's Latovsky gets a false start. And then they end up having to kick a field goal. But I just don't, it felt like that first down play with Harburg. Like, weirdly enough, Harburg running at quarterback has really not worked this year.
No.
And I on paper, it should work. But we're 6 games into this thing, and it's not really ever produced like an overly positive play. But then, obviously, the big one is, and I don't know if we want to save it just to go through like the whole final
Let's
save it. But like, obviously, Emmett makes the play to get all the way down inside the 10, and they go away from him and then end up having to kick a field goal. That would be one. I wish I could ask someone in the press conference, or like you could ask Dana Holgorsen and be like, I'm really not trying to be like a asshole media guy here, but like, take me through your thought process on when you get inside the 10, you seem to go away from Emmett Johnson.
Yeah,
like, I'd love to hear what he's seeing, and because that's something that makes no sense to me.
What's hard is this. Like, I don't like to be critical of, play by play what a coordinator calls. I just feel like we have missed so much on our,
early
first and second down throws inside the 10-yard line.
Agree.
We have been bad all year. I feel like we just have not connected. So it's a little less like critical on the exact play, or you have to run it or something. But I just feel like, well, we've just been not good at it. So whatever we've chosen, we have just not executed. So that's the part where we're going, hey, there's something wrong about the way we're executing down there.
Okay, so I want to go through the whole final two last drives. And we'll do that in a little bit because that'll be kind of fun, because we'll get to celebrate some fun plays. But I wanted to kind of talk about play calling. And listen, like, Holgorsen is still one of the biggest reasons I have confidence. Like, I love that guy. I really do. I'm just saying there are moments where I'm just like, especially where it was pretty clear that Emmett was on one. Now, I don't know if he was like maybe that 50-yard. I don't know if he got up and was just like completely spent or whatever. I'd have to look to see if he was on the field even for that first down play right after he makes the 50-yard
run. Him the ball. Did they not give him the ball after?
No, they threw it. I thought they threw it 3 times. I can pull it up.
Oh, they play action hard. That's what
they play action for Lindenmeyer.
And Lindenmeyer got like held a little bit.
Yes, I thought that's what I thought that.
Yep, that's right.
It was. I might as well take time to play action, back shoulder fade to Key, incomplete. 2nd and goal, play action again. Raiola has to just throw the ball into the dirt.
Yeah.
And then 3rd down, Raiola gets flushed and runs to the 4, and then they have to kick a field goal. Yeah. Just weird, a really weird sequence of plays there after Emmett just went Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl. I mean, that was like a Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl run.
He's
it was incredible. Okay, let's talk about Dylan Raiola. Interesting game for that guy. 3 interceptions. The first, let's just talk about each interception. The first one, just bad throw. I mean, he worked through his progressions. He was late getting back to him, and it was a bad throw.
Yep.
The second one was pivotal, man. Pivotal. Weird play because he's clearly throwing the ball away.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. Like, I really don't understand how that even is possible.
I don't either. How are you, if you're throwing it away, the ball's got to get out of play.
And he was outside the tackle box too, I believe.
Yeah, because then
he rolled right, and then he just
kind of threw it softly up right to the sideline, right to just the edge of the sideline.
Yeah,
it was a bizarre play, but it was a huge play because think about it. It was Nebraska was 24-14,
and we can go in and score.
So let's go through this here real quick. So Maryland had scored to go up 14-10. That Malik Washington dropped a dime over Rex Guthrie, that tight end. Malik Washington made some throws yesterday that were like, holy shit.
He's a good player.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the paper, they were like, Chattel's like, he's better than Bryce Underwood. Like, that was Chattel's take. He was like, this guy is better. And I go, I don't know if I'm there on that, but I thought he was a good player.
I thought he was really good.
Because he was smooth. Like, he threw a pretty ball. Like, he really had a nice game.
The only thing he did, he had 2 or 3 runs where it was just like, wow, you don't like getting hit.
Go get the first and win a game. Like, truly, like, non-winning football players.
Yes.
That's how you don't win football games, is you don't get the first down. And I think they didn't make it.
And sometimes Dylan has a couple of those throughout his career too, where it's like, dude, there's a time to get down. Right? Like a time to get down and don't get hit. And then there's a time you got to kind of I'm not saying you got to go Earl Campbell on everybody, but you got to try to get the first down. You got to
know where the first down
is.
I feel like there's too many, especially young guys, they get out there and they don't know where it is.
Right.
They don't even think about it.
It's bad. But okay. So Maryland had gone up 14-10. Lincoln High's finest, Kenneth Williams, 85-yard kickoff return down inside the 10. He got ran down, but man, that Maryland guy.
That dude was fast. But I was thinking about
he needed to kind of like.
Did he need to just, because he kind of ran back into the defender, or did he need to run to the pylon?
You've scored many a touchdowns. When you're, there's a time to just go Forrest Gump. And go Secretariat blinders, and he
needed to Forrest Gump it pretty much. Like, I think so. Like,
that was very similar to Gump's like touchdown, like his kickoff.
Run,
Kenneth Williams, run. It's like
okay. 90-degree angle, back up.
It was very. I mean, go watch Forrest Gump.
Gump was an All-American. So what do they think? What does the Meccas think about football players? Like, you can be Forrest Gump level IQ and be an All-American. So maybe it's true. Maybe it's true about it.
It's a kickoff in Bryant-Denny Stadium. He's staring. He's not even paying attention. The other guy has to catch it. Runs and
he's not paying. The best is like the kick. I mean,
he's looking off into the stands. Guy catches it, hands it to him, says, "Run." He says, "Okay," and he just.
What do you think Gump's 40 is? I mean, seriously. Like, is he like a 4.2 guy? I think
he's a 4.2, 4.3 guy.
Because he's an All-American.
Straight line. Who do you got in a straight line sprint? Taylor Martinez, Forrest Gump?
I'll tell you what. Maybe that's like, yeah, I mean, Gump must have been really fast.
He was really, but it was
his IQ is that low.
It was very low.
He just can be like, I don't know what I'm
Let's
doing.
put this guy at kickoff returner and just tell him to just run straight.
Just run.
Because that Kenneth Williams, I mean, he kind of like, but it was a very. And a lot of kickoff returns are like you just got to like there's not a lot of juking and whatnot. But Kenneth Williams, that guy, all I'm saying is that the Maryland guy was fast. But if Kenneth Williams would have just checked his side mirror or whatever, I feel like if he would have moved, he could have housed it. But whatever, Nebraska scores. Yep. But that was the play where Raiola rolls, and then hits Lindenmeyer.
Yeah, that wasn't an easy score. That was
where you're like, wow. I mean, I still don't know exactly what. I can't believe Dylan threw that ball. And that's an incredible catch because that thing seemed like it was a 104-mile-an-hour heater.
But we're making plays like that. I mean, this is the part of like when we need to give Dylan credit. Like, we make plays like that because of Dylan.
Because of him.
Dylan, like, their game is elevating right now.
Right. So kickoff return, Lindenmeyer touchdown. Now it's 17-14. Maryland goes 3 and out. They had that was all of a sudden Maryland was like, should we get 8 straight unsportsmanlike conduct penalties? I think we should. What were they doing?
I'll tell you what, we have had, in terms of penalties, I'd love to see how many personal fouls and unsportsmanlike other teams have had. I feel like this has been the year where we have none, and they have like
a million of them.
We're getting a couple a game, it seems like.
So all of a sudden they got penalty happy for a stretch, which was great. So Nebraska forces a 3 and out. Then they have the Hunter fade touchdown.
Yep.
So now it's 24-14. Nebraska forces another 3 and out punt. Nebraska's got all the momentum.
Yep.
All the momentum. They're up 24-14 with 4:26 left. And that's when Dylan Raiola throws the lazy, like, weird second pick.
So this is where it was a roller coaster with like how even to perceive this team. Because to me, that's the moment where I'm like, I was saying to myself during the game, man, we don't have the killer instinct yet. Like, we still do that every time we get a decent lead, it seems like. At Michigan State, like, we get out in front, and then it's like we just let them right back. Like, we don't put people away when it feels like, man, we got momentum. That's one of the bugaboos about this team that we're trying to even understand is I feel like at times we lack the killer instinct, which is like, we're not going to be a great team until it's like they're going to give us a chance to put them away in the first half. Take it.
Yeah.
Take that chance. Don't make that kind of mistake in that moment. And it seems like we haven't grown quite to that yet.
I couldn't agree more, because you're asking for it. You let a team, you don't put a team away, or you let a team hang around, or you let a team back into the game. Like, one of these teams, whether it's Minnesota or Northwestern beats Penn State yesterday, it was a wacky day in the Big Ten yesterday. One of these teams is going to catch you. You know, like if you keep on when you have a chance to put a team away, you got to put a team away. And I felt like at 24-14 when Nebraska had the ball, I was like, man, I feel like Nebraska has a chance to win this game by like 17, 21 points.
Yeah.
Because Emmett was rolling. It just felt like it was going to happen. So, but Dylan throws the bad second interception, leads to a Maryland field goal, which ends the first half, and Maryland has the ball to start the third quarter. And then they're able to convert a couple of third downs, and they score. So Nebraska had a chance to go up 31-14 or 27-14. Yeah. Instead, it's 24-17. Maryland scores on their first drive of the third quarter to tie it at 24. And then Dylan Raiola throws the pick six. Yeah. So you're sitting there going, I think Nebraska could go up 31-14 and potentially like put this game away to, in a span of 10 minutes of game time, Nebraska's down 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a 23-point swing.
Yes.
That like went like that.
But Bo, it's all because of the second pick.
Yeah.
The third interception, was it Mills? I think was he looking for Mills, or was it? I can't remember who he's looking for now. But it did seem like they just weren't fully on the same page.
Yeah, like Jake Butt was saying that like he thought that it should have been like a hard, like a vertical comeback, and he like curled it in.
Yep.
That's something that, that's a communication thing, but like in the end, it's like
you can't.
I mean, you still can't do it, right?
No, right.
You can't do it one way or the other. So just too bad though. I mean, because like I said, this is a game that we could have put away easy. Luckily it turned out how it did. But
yes,
we would be singing a whole different story right now.
Usually I'm very slow to be like confident in this team, but when it was 24-14 and Nebraska had forced a couple of 3-and-outs before the second interception, I really was like, I think Nebraska is a lot better than this team, and I think they're gonna. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a quick recap pod because it's just gonna be like an ass kicking.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's 31-24. Dylan Raiola's thrown 3 picks, and in that moment, you're going, oh God.
But that's where I'm not going to dismiss how what happened at the end of the game is amazing, and it shows its own growth. But we can't dismiss what happened in those moments because I think that's still part of who we are,
right? And
where we got to be. We got to be mindful as fans that like, don't get your expectations past that. That's a part of who we are still. Like every game we're doing both of these things. The difference is we used to not do hey, we come back and win thing. Right. We used to just do that thing, but we still got too much of that in us. Like when you watch these good, the top like 4 or 5 teams in the Big Ten, they don't do this ever. When they get up by 2 or 3 scores and you give them the ball back, they just stomp you down and then the game gets out of hand. That's the difference between those top 5 teams in the Big Ten and sort of these middle tier teams, which I still think we're in the middle tier right now. We're a middle tier team.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's much difference between us and the 10th best, 11th, 12th. Like there's a handful of teams in there that are all that.
Yeah, because there's been a great point, and couldn't agree more. Because you do have to take the whole scope into consideration. Mike Riley didn't provide a ton of great things at Nebraska. One of the things I always loved was he said something in a press conference that has stuck with me forever. He said, never look past something in victory that you wouldn't in defeat. Yeah. And I love that line. And I think that line has created some interesting discourse amongst Husker fans and Husker media, because you get a part of the Husker fan and Husker media that is like, what is everybody complaining about, or why are they griping about the second and third quarter against Michigan State? They won the game. It's like, well, but that you got to take the whole thing. You never look past something in victory that you wouldn't in defeat. Like, so I think it's a good point by you that we have to always take all, because like, who is Nebraska? Nebraska is still that team that was atrocious in the second and third quarter against Michigan State and had a chance to put away Maryland and didn't, and then had to pull something they hadn't done in 33 opportunities to do.
And that's why, my point is that like if we're 1 in 33 in these things, we need to do a better job of not getting into those moments anymore.
Right. You're clearly not good.
Let's try to avoid those because we've been bad at those. Even though we've done it once now, let's not put ourselves in that position anymore.
Right. It's like you're a caddy for a golfer that's has not gotten up and down out of the sand trap in 33 rounds.
I'm like, let's just avoid that bunker. Let's just hit it way left. You can be in the rough to the left. Let's just not hit right.
We got bunkers.
Stay away from that bunker.
Just if you got a smother hook
DeChambeau, you're 1 in 33 out of that bunker. Let's just not hit near that bunker.
But they got themselves in this situation, but they found a way to get themselves out of it. Let's kind of go through some of it.
Okay.
The defense. We'll get into the defense more because it was an interesting day for them. But, man, I tell you, when it mattered, they come up with 3 straight stops to end the game. So down 31-24, first play of the fourth quarter, Deshaun McCullough makes a huge play on 3rd and 2 to force a punt.
I would argue you said that about the Emmett play. I felt like McCullough's play was the moment where I said, I think we're going to win.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about that play. But to me, that was Maryland's chance to put us away.
Yeah.
Like, you go punch it in, you get that, and then you go punch it in. I feel like it's ball game. And McCullough makes that play, and I just felt Maryland go, they tightened up. I feel like that play was so big, and something about it, it just, to me, was my click that I went, uh-oh. It gave us confidence that, like, we're going to make plays. It was like we made a play that brought the confidence we're going to make more.
Right. In a weird way, do you think, because that was the first play of the fourth quarter, wasn't it? Let me go check.
I don't exactly. I thought it was in the fourth. I thought it was getting down to the, like, I thought it was closer. Maybe
it was so Maryland run at 2nd and 4. They run a counter sweep. Shouts out to Chuck Mazursky. They ran a lot of counter sweep yesterday. I was loving it. They get it to 3rd and 2. They get it 3rd and 2 end of the third quarter. So the first play of the fourth quarter. In a weird way, I wonder if, like, that helped Nebraska. Like, you got to gather yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it's just, they got to gather themselves. Yeah. And because that was the one thing that was interesting was there were moments, and I think it was mainly this drive. So I have it right here. So Maryland has the ball at the 38, counter sweep for 6. They run it off tackle for 5 yards and a first down. They run an ISO for 6. They run an ISO again for 6. They run a play action where the quarterback just runs. They run a counter sweep. Like, they were kind of just lining up under center and running it right down Nebraska's throat. It gets to 3rd and 2, and Deshaun McCullough makes a huge play.
Yeah.
A play that, Bo, you got the feeling after that.
I got the feeling.
You got to feel it. I got a feeling that we're going to win this game. So then the defense then, okay, so then Nebraska 31-24. Should we go through that fun drive?
Yes.
All right. Let me pull up. This is why you take notes.
They punt it. The guy catches it like roughly the 10, I think, right around there, just inside.
So there was. Wow, it was way deeper. Yeah, it was at their drive began at their own 8.
Their own 8, yeah. Okay.
1st and 10, Emmett Johnson, 11-yard run. Next play, they run a crosser to Key, but holding on Pritchett. Easy call. I think Pritchett even did you see? I think Pritchett even dapped up the guy afterwards.
Too friendly for me.
I wanted to. There's so many times I go to text you, but I don't. Like,
you should just say.
I know you hate. Like, I literally was like, Bo hates that.
Yeah,
you're the guy, like, you helping up the other team. You don't.
But
do that.
I actually took the Jim Brown philosophy. You get up real slow and you let them help you up. So I would let them help me up every play. They use their energy. But I would never I'm not going to let them, I'm not giving them any of my energy. Like, I was a big energy guy. Like, you help me up. I'm going slow. And for you, you're going to have to use your own energy to get up. Like,
it is like,
it's just sort of like
helped up.
It helps.
It's really getting up on your own sucks. Yeah, after you've been exhausting yourself.
I don't know why. Like, I went to extreme.
I'm a big energy guy. That's the most. All of our friends right now listening are like, that's the understatement of the world.
And all the, like, the celebrating and trash talk. I'm like, all right, you better never be tired in this game. You're going to do that because that means you're using all of your energy to scream and celebrate. Some people celebrate so much. I'm like, you're going to be gassed for the next
yourself.
play.
Yeah.
Don't get gassed for the next play.
Guys, go YouTube some of Bo's pick sixes. I mean, the most you might get like a fist pump, but you get a fist pump, but you get just very little from Bo. But holding on Pritchett, and then Pritchett daps up the guy he held. Interesting move, Elijah Pritchett. They get it to it's 2nd and 14. They run a screen to Emmett, and Emmett has an amazing run again on the screen.
Yeah.
3rd and 4. I think they motioned Emmit Johnson out to the right, and they did a little curl flat and got key little hitch, first down. 1st and 10, Emmett 5-yard run. They get a holding on a swing out to Barney. I think it was Hunter that just
that was an all-time bad. Like
was that the one where he threw him down? Yeah.
It's just like I want to be like, what are you even thinking? I was really offended by that. That's like, what are you doing? Like he was blocked too. He was like blocking. He decided to throw him.
I don't, especially those ones. I always say
that was a lack of concentration
and things out on the perimeter. Like there's maybe in the muck of the trenches, there are things you can kind of get away with, but out in the perimeter,
I don't even care if you hold. He was like, I lost him, but I held him, so he didn't make.
He
was blocked, and then he turned and he threw him. It's such a lack of concentration that like. There's no way that you were like, well, would you just black out? Like, what were you thinking?
I have no idea. Bad play. So now it's 2nd and 16 at the 25.
That could cost you the game, though.
Yeah, at this point, you're going, man. So 2nd and 16 at 25. Raiola hits Dane Key down the seam on a really good catch and gain for 16 yards and a first down.
Yeah.
1st and 10, pass batted down by a Maryland defensive lineman. 2nd and 10, here comes Bo Jackson from Tecmo Bowl. Emmit Johnson gets it, bounces it outside, gets to the sideline, cuts back not once, but twice. You know, he kind of lets the 2 different people get past him. 50-yard run all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Just an incredible play. Then we talked about how back shoulder fade to Key, incomplete. Play action, Raiola has to throw the ball in the dirt. Raiola has to run to the 4. They get a delay of game. Did you think they were going to go for it?
I think they were, and I totally disagreed with it.
I did too.
It was like they were from the 4, and Raiola got up after he ran. I feel like he gets juiced up sometimes, and he wasn't thinking clear. And he was like, "Let's go, we're going." I think everybody, okay, Raiola wants to go, but I'm like, don't go. Like, I just didn't think our odds from the 4 were that great. Like, if you're at the 1,
yeah,
maybe we'll talk about it. But when you're from the 4, I think you take the point.
And
so I think I was actually glad that we got the delay of game because I felt like we weren't going to get it.
Were they?
They were going to go.
Were they going to go? And then they just
Then they were late. They snapped it and they called the delay quickly. Like the announcers spoke about it. How usually like it's like it goes to 0 and you get a count, and they hit it right after it went. So whatever. I actually feel like it was fortunate because I think at that moment you take the points. You don't risk. You risk the game. You don't extend the game in that moment. You almost go like, "Hey, we're down 10 still." Then,
well, and there was,
or we're down.
Well, no, they're down 4. So they're down. Yeah, so you're down. Yes,
down 7 still. Yeah, sorry.
But there still was a lot of game left. There was 7. So when they then kicked the 27-yard field goal to make it 31-27, there's 7:47 left. Yeah. There's too much.
Too early to let go. Like you need to kick the field goal. Take the points.
But I did write down, here's what I wrote down. I wrote maddening sequence of plays. Give the effing ball to Emmit Johnson. Instead, it's 3 passes.
That's right.
Even though I had just been got some tingles and jingles from watching Emmett do his thing, I then was just like, oh, what? Yeah. It ended on a thud. I just don't know how you don't like ride the hot hand unless he was just like went to the sideline and was like E.T. Remember when E.T. was like on life support? Elliot went and visited Johnson on the ouch. So Maryland gets the ball with 7:47 left at the 25. We've referenced Forrest Gump and E.T.
Nick. How do you even pull it? How do you pull E.T. right there?
My brain went I asked my brain, give me the sickest image you could. And my brain said, what do you think about E.T. towards the end of
We're going with it. Send him in, E.T. Send it.
What about E.T., man?
Okay. Yes.
So Maryland gets the ball with 7:47 left at the 25. They get one first down, but then ultimately Washington gets on 3rd and 6. He has to flip one to the running back for like a gain of 2, and they get a stop with 4:45 left, and they have to punt.
Yep.
So defense, McCullough makes the 3rd and 2 play to start the 4th quarter. Now they get another stop to give Nebraska the ball back at the 20-yard line, 3:42 left, 3 timeouts, trailing 31-27. The first down play is one of the best. Dylan Raiola gets a rusher right in his face, and somehow the most elusive he's ever been, like sidesteps him and then is able to find Lindenmeyer.
Yeah.
And Lindenmeyer, is he hard to tackle? He breaks a lot of tackles.
He's a good athlete. Like he's a pretty natural athlete. I think you're going to see this guy. He is starting to look more like a pro to me every day because he's a pretty naturally big guy and he moves really well. It's all natural. He's a good athlete, Nick. He catches the ball easy. He runs well. I think this guy's a future pro.
His yak has to be like as good. Now Hunter's got, because of the tunnel screens, it's just like racking it up. But like he breaks a lot of tackles.
He does nice job.
So big game.
But Nick, let's go back to that play for Dylan, right? Like the difference between Nebraska of the last handful of years and this year, it is Dylan Raiola, right? Like in these moments, like Dylan can play an awful game in a sense, 3 picks, just like,
he was, I mean,
you could say he was going to cost us the game, but he's not going to cost us the game because he can win us the game.
Right.
And that's the difference is in the crunch time, Dylan is not scared of the moment. He's not scared of it at all.
No.
And he's proving it time after time now. That's 3 games now where it's like, here's the big moment. Well, guess what Dylan does? He makes his best plays, like against Michigan State, the 3rd down to Barney, right? This play to Lindenmeyer. That's the play. That's the play that he makes it. I go, nobody else is making. And Nick, he was throwing it.
He was off. He didn't have his feet under him,
and he crossed his body
to the right sideline
with a sidearm. I'm like, that's such a big time play.
Yes,
that's huge. That is the difference. And anybody out there that says differently, I will argue that is the difference between this year and the last handful of years. Is Dylan will make that play, and then everybody else is starting to step up out, like from that confidence. I think it starts with that confidence, and then Lindenmeyer's and the Emmets, they feed off of like that. They know that guy can do that.
When we talked about the 33 opportunities and going 1 for 33, those 33 opportunities didn't have a guy like Dylan.
Yeah.
But then they also, I'd love to go within, even get inside, even more inside those numbers. You know what's so important in those moments is to get the drive going, like get a positive play. And on first down, remember what was it at Oklahoma where I think
Martinez was sacked
it was like they got sacked 3 times and ended up almost getting like a safety where they couldn't even get. But that's such a big play because it gets you out, it gets you moving, it gets you out.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean that play is, people are going to talk about a bunch of other plays on the low. That's the play.
That's the play.
That's the play. Maybe even more because then next play, Emmett Johnson runs for 5. But then the next play is also a big one. 2nd and 5, Dylan Raiola stumbles as he throws and hits Hunter on it looked like either a slant and go or
and get like 30 yards.
33-yard gain. Do you think my thought was, and Jake Butt, there was a free rusher that was coming that stopped for a second because I think he was like
he saw Emmett. Emmett was swinging and he stopped his blitz, and then Dylan just
so I think it was one of those things. Dylan saw the free rusher coming and knew that Emmett was going on a route, and so I think have you ever kind of you think something's coming in it and you lose your footing or your balance, and then he's falling back But that was a crazy play.
It's still a great throw under the circumstances.
Again, it's just bizarre. So he stumbles as he throws, hits Hunter on a slant and go for 33. Now it's the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
1st and 10, ball at the 20. So think about it. They flipped the field like that.
Yeah.
Emmett Johnson, 5-yard run. 2nd and 6. I still want to so many things with this play. Dylan Raiola ends up getting flushed and rolls to his right and rolls and waits, very similar to the Lindenmeyer play. This time it's to hands off my Heinrich Harburg, another missile from Raiola, and Harburg catches it at the 3.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's an unbelievable catch. And I thought, did you know, when he turned, he had it with one hand, but then he kind of let go of it. I thought, no, are they going to
go snap that ball?
So
right
was
now.
I.
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to go, didn't complete the process of the catch or whatever. But he clearly, I mean, Heine got it and just loaf of bread did it. He went to Winery camp.
It slipped out of his hand.
I know. Did he? If they would review that,
got away with one. To me, I've seen enough of those in the NFL where it's if you don't hold on to it through the act of the continuation, the catch, it's I don't know. He caught it, he fell down, and as he fell, he slipped, he lost the ball. I'm like, well, I don't know.
I was surprised that it didn't get reviewed. It didn't get really even talked about.
Yeah.
It just was a weird. I want to go back and watch that play because that was a weird play.
Yeah.
But it gets down to the 3-yard line. What's up?
So we were talking about when to hand the ball off. So keep going.
Okay. So now 1st and goal at the 3.
How much time?
There is
a minute,
probably about a minute 20.
Okay.
Play action. This is where the play action to Linden.
That was one. Yeah. And this is where just me and my brother were texting about this. This is where the NFL is maniacal about clock management. And they would have handed the ball off 10 out of 10 times.
Right.
Because in the NFL, it's just as much about getting that clock because they're just in the NFL
these quarterbacks are so
good. A minute's forever, and that's where I disagree with, especially when the clock is a factor. We needed to hand the ball to Emmett there. That to me was the moment
because when you got it to the 3, the clock went to working against Nebraska to working against Maryland.
All the timeouts. We had 2 timeouts still, so there was no issue with the time. It was a matter of don't give them another chance.
Right.
And we're going to talk about what happened, where they were, it was within the realm. Right. So,
but I'm with you.
That was the moment where, especially when the clock's telling you to run it, we need to hand the ball to Emmett in that moment. In my mind,
you have either 2 or all 3. I think I have them for all 3 timeouts still left. I think
they probably do.
I think they have all three timeouts left with about a minute 20 at the 3.
Yeah, so you either make them use their timeout at that moment, which helps you down the road, or you just run it out and you really need 15 seconds to run 3 plays from the 3-yard line. So you don't need any time. You need to get 40 seconds off the clock. And I think we missed on that opportunity. It's a learning experience for us, right?
But what it is what did Riley say? Never look past something in victory you wouldn't in defeat. That sequence, first of all, I just don't understand not giving it to Emmit Johnson. But you're right. There was a world where you could have handed it to Emmit Johnson two times,
and there's no time on the clock.
And there's zero there. Maryland's going to have no time and no timeouts.
Yep.
But they play action to Lindenmeyer, and then 2nd and goal. They could have run it again, but they get man coverage and they just run a little, Hunter runs a slant, Key runs an out, and Dylan hits Dane Key. That was like a one-handed.
Great play.
Dane Key catches it. Touchdown. Nebraska leads 34-31 with 1 minute and 8 seconds left.
I mean,
unreal.
It's a different world we're living in this year. We're in every game. And we can win any game now. If we get close, we can win them now. I feel it now. I feel like this has changed the mindset. I think our team officially feels different now. They feel like if they get into a 2-minute, 4-minute situation, they can win.
Because you got to go get into it and emerge victorious on the other side of it a couple of times. You just got to see it. You got to
do it.
Right. And you got multiple guys making, Lindenmeyer makes a big play. Key makes a big play. Hunter makes a big play. Emmett Johnson makes a big play. Deshaun McCullough makes it. You had multiple guys that felt like they had a hand in closing this thing out. And so Maryland gets the ball back with two timeouts left with 1:08. They get a long gain down the sideline, and the player gets out of bounds. And then 1st and 10 at the 45, a great catch by Jake Butt here on this play. Malik Washington throws it away and gets intentional grounding, but the tight end, they had a tight end open on a little delay.
Yeah.
Everybody is on the right side of the field. The tight end, I don't know if he has the wheels to score,
but he's going into field goal range
for sure. But
and I don't even know if that's grounding.
I was going to ask you.
He was moving just like the tackle went in and the guard went out. And
I don't think I understand intentional grounding sometimes.
You got to break the tackle box. So basically the tackles are here. You got to like get outside the pocket of the tackle. But what it looked like is almost like the guard and the tackle switched spots, and he didn't quite get past where maybe the guard was. So it was like, it was an iffy moment, and so fortunate for us.
Because it was huge.
Then you lose the down, and
they got to call timeout because to avoid the 10-second runoff. They do get it to a 3rd and 24 with 31 seconds left. Malik Washington makes a ridiculously tough throw to get it to midfield and ultimately to 4th and 4 at the 50. Incomplete pass, ball game. Nebraska wins 34-31.
I mean, like I said, very fortunate. We still had learning out. Like, we are learning how to win. So I think we should go back to this because you made the point, like, they have to do it. All these guys had to see themselves making those plays, like Emmett, Harburg, Lindenmeyer,
Key, Hunter.
They all made plays. And so each time they do that, they're going to get more comfortable in these moments. Like, oh yeah, remember all these times I made plays?
Right.
It's like you just tap right into it again.
Totally.
Once you've done it, it's like, it's so much easier to rinse, repeat. I think that was huge. And, maybe the reason why we're not as good with even thinking about how to manage that clock is like, when was the last time we were going to go in and score and had to worry about it?
Right,
never.
Right.
The answer is never. In 33 games, we've never had to worry about how much time we got left in this last minute. Like, we never get there.
You're right.
We never get to that 3-yard line.
Right.
So this is part of the growth of like, well, when you start winning, you start doing even more things right to win more games.
The only way, a big part of preparation is confidence. That's a part of it. But then to really take your confidence to like another level is you have to have success in a real game.
No doubt. You got to do it.
You got to do it. And so now let me just paint a picture for you. If it's 27-24 in Minneapolis on Friday night, when Dane Key or when Lindenmeyer lines up, he's going to go, fuck, I made a play against. I'm going
to do it again.
Dylan, come to me. I got it. And Dylan goes, ooh, buddy, I led I led 10-point drives here at the end of this game. And Hunter's going, I had a 33-yard sluggo to get us down to the 20. Emmett Johnson's going, man, I took it 50 and broke like 80. You know what I mean? Like that.
And so think about this too. So when you're playing Nebraska now, and this is what they're starting to do, okay, you're going to play us a certain way. I feel like when we were at our lowest in these moments, it was like, well, just bring the house because they can't block anybody.
Right.
The mindset was very different for the defenders going against us. It was like, just tee off.
Just pin your ears back. Yes.
They will collapse. And you know what? We did.
Yes.
And we did it over and over. So now it's like we are rewriting the narrative, which it changes everything because then their strategy changes.
Totally agree. And so that's what this really is. Couple of things. Once again, special teams comes up huge. Kenneth Williams, aka Forrest Gump. Is that?
I don't think he was that Forrest Gumpy, but I'll go with it because
I might as well go. I mean,
if he returns another kick, he'll earn the Forrest. Okay,
so one more big kickoff return, and he's Forrest Gump. But huge because it was 14-10, and that play, like, Nebraska was up 10-0. All of a sudden, they're down 4, and that play really kind of like flipped it all back in Uncle Mo to be on Nebraska's side.
That's team football that we're playing.
Cunanan, 2 of 2 field goals. Archie did shank a punt. But still, special teams still coming up big, man.
Good.
Could I argue that was the offensive line's best game of the season? Dylan only gets sacked 1 time.
I thought their run blocking was good.
They ran for 194 yards. And although Emmett made chicken salad out of you-know-what a couple of times, there There also was some big holes at times as well. Even the tunnel screen to Hunter again. The O lineman got out on the perimeter and did their thing.
I thought it was good. I would say I'm going to give Holgorsen credit for his first quarter and a half of play calling, because he started the game out basically like, we're going to give this team no chance to pass rush, essentially.
Right, yeah.
And that's what we did. We really did a great job. We were throwing the tunnel screen, right? Like the tunnel screen, hand the ball off. We took their pass rush out of the game early.
Yep.
So that was good strategy. Thought they did a good job blocking, like say for a lot of things. I just felt like we struggle sometimes, just like basic pass sets, like just being in a good body angle for like what you're doing. Like simple times, like Pritchett way overset or way underset.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this isn't
on the whole, the one he held, he got way too far outside.
It's just so far. Like,
and the guy was like, okay, well, I'm gonna inside move.
It was a freshman.
Yeah.
Mathis. So that's where I'm like, you can't let a freshman work you over a few. So like we got a ways to go there. And I don't know. So
I just want to say that it felt like going into the game, the number one thing I was worried about was Maryland had done an excellent job sacking the quarterback. Nebraska had been horrific, giving up sacks. And however you slice it, whether you want to,
it's better. It's better.
Yeah. That's all right. I'm saying. Like, you're right. I think Holgorsen did a better job, and that's what we talked in the midweek pod about how it's an all hands on deck approach to avoiding these sacks. But nevertheless, Dylan Raiola was only sacked one time, and they ran the ball for 194 yards.
And Dylan got the ball out too.
And Dylan got the ball out.
But he obviously he had his share of mistakes.
How did the defense play? I'm still like, we're 24 hours removed from the game here, and I'm like, so Maryland scores 31 points, 24 if you take away the pick six. Maryland had 379 total yards. There were 18 first downs, 7 and 15 on third down, and they had not been good on third down coming into the game. They did throw the ball for 260 yards. That's the most anybody by a mile has passed against the number one pass defense in the country for Nebraska, and they had 130 yards rushing. It was concerning. Like I pointed out, there were a couple plays where Maryland kind of just lined up and they had not been a good running team, and they were kind of pounding it right at Nebraska.
Yeah, we took a couple bad angles.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask you on their 23-yard touchdown run.
Guthrie was like bad angle.
It was because also it felt like it was either when Neri or McCullough felt like they got way.
It was Petchuk.
It was Gate Petchuk. Really,
yeah,
really. But Guthrie seemed like he came too.
Well, and our middle linebacker was unblocked, and it just was like too slow, right? So like we were too slow at linebacker a few times. We were too soft up the middle. Bad angles from the secondary. Just we were a little soft in coverage. It just wasn't a great overall game.
Okay, that's right.
They made enough plays
when it mattered.
And you know what we haven't given up maybe all year is a deep ball over the top.
Yeah.
We're keeping everything in front of us, which is keeping us in game. So in a sense, we haven't been great at any point, but we've done a good job of always keeping things pretty much in front of us. And, we're making them earn it enough.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm with you. That's why I kind of asked the question. I'm like, there were enough concerning things, but they still, you're also one of those things where sometimes we remember what happens in clutch moments, and when they needed to,
they made it like
they got 3 stops to end the game.
Yeah. McCullough made his big play. We got 3 stops to end the game. Give me your take on Maryland, because Matt Rule is like pretty high on praise on Maryland. They did have some talented dudes, but like I'm also like, I don't know how to stack us up, because I don't know how to stack up Maryland really.
Yeah, I don't.
They almost beat Washington, but
I think a part of Matt Rule's thing is Matt Rule is every coach whenever they lose to or beat a team. I mean, they could lose to like crappy state. And they're like, I tell you, crappy state
got some good players.
That's a heck of a football team. Crappy state got, or
yeah.
That's kind of Rule. And then Rule is quick. I mean, he called Jeff Sims an NFL player. Like Rule is a little quick to throw hyperbole.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say if you cooked Matt Rule a steak and he took one bite and went, I tell you,
that's the best steak.
It's one of the best steaks I've ever had. You're like,
yeah, maybe.
So I don't know. I will say, I thought they had a couple of secondary guys that I thought were pretty good.
We're smacking.
14 made a couple
14,
of 14 good
like
plays.
22 was drilling us.
Yes. So and then I think Malik Washington's good, man. Like,
and maybe that's in the receivers were pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't think they're great. I think they're better than Michigan State.
You look at but what's funny about Maryland as a program is like they still get some dudes, and like their fan base was bad. Like, I mean, like they were saying, like it was mostly Nebraska fans. Like the seats were like half empty.
Yeah, and it's not like they were. Now, I think it would have been interesting to see what that stadium would have been like if they wouldn't have collapsed against Washington the week before. They're up 20-0, and they give up 24 unanswered points.
But they're
like, I know. Yeah, I don't know what they're really thinking here.
But it is a basketball school, right? Like,
oh yeah, yes, it's a basketball school, and that area is just. I don't. I mean, the DMV is. That's not really a college town area. That's one of the interesting things about Maryland's fit in the Big Ten. It's like you go to these other it's like almost every place is in a college town.
Yeah.
And College Park is not really fully a college town. I mean, it's you're a half hour from DC, you're right by Baltimore, it's but yeah, I walked away. I think there's a world that if Nebraska if they were to play a 7-game series, I think they win 4-1, and I think 3 of the games maybe like Nebraska wins by 14 plus.
Yeah.
That, in my opinion, I felt like that game, my eyes told me when it got to 24-14, like Nebraska's better than this team.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But, there's a reason that these games always end up being close. So, It also is anything else with the defense before we get to the Peerless Energy top performer, and then we'll have one final thing. And
no, I think that'll
do it.
That'll do it.
Okay. Well, real quick, I'd tell you about Pella Windows and Doors. Love being synonymous with the good folks at Pella. Vince, Debbie, the whole crew there, the best. If you are in need some windows and some doors, whatever you need, go the Pella route. Go to PellaOmaha.com. You can check out the showrooms in Omaha and Lincoln. Great place to get the whole journey started. It's better than looking at just like looking at a magazine and being like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. You can actually feel the window, feel the door. It's great, man. Check them out, PellaOmaha.com. Okay. Peerless Energy MVP top performer. This one's pretty easy, right? Yeah, usually we're like, I got 4 names for you. Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, Kevin McHale. But
going back to the 90s again.
We're gonna go. Okay, Emmett Johnson. What Tom Cruise movie is Emmett Johnson's performance most like? No, so it's Emmett Johnson. Oh, you were gonna.
I was thinking about that. I'm like,
risky. No, what Tom Cruise? Where does he? He
Days
runs
Thunder,
in every.
maybe a
Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay. Day After Tomorrow, and he finally cracks the case. Because it was Groundhog's Day, and then he
Far and Away, where he has to stake his claim.
Yeah, there could be that. He runs in every. So I mean, it's not like you can be like, oh, the one that he runs. It's like
Cruise runs in every movie. So that's
he runs in Jerry Maguire. He runs through the terminal after.
Got to run through the tunnel. Yeah.
By the way, Simmons pointed out the major hole in that plot that
the time,
like that Renee Zellweger and that group, it'd have been like 3:00 in the morning.
It'd been way late. Yeah.
I mean, they're having a men or pigs meeting that's lasts until 3 a.m.
That's possible, I guess. So
I'm looking for my wife. I love that movie so much. Movie. What's the Cameron Crowe, right?
Cameron.
Okay. Yep. All right. Sorry. Back to Emmett Johnson. I heard Sip say he said watching Emmett's 50-yard run, he felt like it was almost he felt like it was a mirror's play against McNeese State. Now, where it was just like one guy putting the team on his back. It's not to that degree because Emmett scored. Or sorry, Amir scored,
Amir scored and it was 4th down.
It was 4th down.
That's where that plays on another level to me.
Yes, and he literally broke every tackle in the book there. But I will say that's as impressive of an individual run.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really racking my brain. The best run Nebraska's had that's an amazing run.
One of the problems is we haven't had
big long runs
just
of
people
guys
making the extra thing happen. Changes games.
But it's got to be Emmett Johnson, man. I mean, it's not. I don't even know if we have to spend a whole bunch of time. 21 carries, 176 yards, 8.4 yards per carry. It's
He's
amazing.
had plenty of touchdowns this year. He didn't have any touchdowns,
Right.
but he was the guy. Like, he was the engine for this game. He was the guy that made it happen for us. And like I said, the amount of broken tackles, like the amount of extra yards he got after contact this game was awesome.
I got it. My cousin Scott. His cousin Scott said he's updating Emmett Johnson's Wikipedia page, and it's just it's just a bighorn sheep or bighorn ram, whatever those things are. I don't know.
Rights on the mountain. I think.
I will say, in terms of mating rights on Mount Maryland, Emmett Johnson owns mating rights.
He's got mating rights this week.
Easy decision. For the Peerless Energy MVP top performer. Peerless Energy Systems for any and all air compressor needs. Go to peerlessenergy.com. They are the Sullair authorized distributor for Nebraska and Iowa. They're locally owned and operated. They have a large local and dedicated rental department, 24-hour emergency response for service parts and rental equipment. Again, all air compressor needs. Peerless Energy Systems has you covered. peerlessenergy.com. As we say goodbye, a couple of things. The fans, there were about 10,000 plus Husker fans there. I'm not sure if you've seen the videos of the players coming back out and going and kind of celebrating with the fans. That was pretty sweet. It's just, that's where Nebraska still is just different than a lot of places, you know?
We are, every place says their fans are the best. So it kind of is BS to just
crappy states. Like, we love our fans here.
Our fans, right? But I will make an argument that our fans are the best in college football because we have a unique situation where we are the only show in town.
Yep.
It runs, the timeline of how long our fans have been great is forever. It's been,
1962.
Yeah. No, longer than that.
Longer than that.
But like, we've also now proven for 20 years to be unbelievable fans,
right?
While being atrociously bad at times, historically, almost the suffering of how bad it's been.
Yeah.
Right? The torture aspect of it makes me think that we deserve that title more than ever, because it's one thing to just be like, hey, we're good fans, and sometimes we're down, sometimes we're up. Like, we've just been down and we've been tortured.
Yes.
And we're still traveling like that.
It's incredible.
And that's where I'm like, God, we might be the best. Like, we might be, because of how bad it's been, the best fans that we've like held on.
We didn't also, I mentioned, I'm not sure if you saw the video of Kenneth Williams being awarded a scholarship after the game.
I didn't see the video. I read about it today though.
So I don't think it was, Matt Rule gets up, says, we sometimes got to make things right in the world. Everybody give it up for our AD, Troy Dannon. And Troy Dannon says, I hear you. Kenneth Williams up says, I hear you don't have a scholarship. Well, you do now. And the place goes crazy.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah.
But it made me think, like, I don't know if I've ever seen, like, a walk-on makes a play in a game and is instantly rewarded a scholarship right after the game.
Yeah.
I don't think, usually it's like that's done in a team meeting, whatever. Like,
it's this.
That's
era,
an interesting.
This era, it's like they don't waste 5 minutes. Like, what I'm saying? It's the era of like,
that's right.
They just right now, I guess. Like,
another question I have at the press conference, I'd be like, Rule, when did you and Troy, like, when you were packing your suitcase to College Park, did you pack a scholarship and say, just in case Kenneth Williams?
I wouldn't doubt he made that run, and somebody in the head says, like, well, we were going to put this guy in scholarship now, huh? Like, I probably said it or after the play.
I mean, or they walked off the field and said it. Like, did you, Troy?
I bet you at halftime he saw Dan like, what we should do after the game if we win? Just like give this guy's. But you know what? It's like they had to have that thought. They're like, well, our walk-on just ran it back 90 yards. Like, he does kind of need to go on scholarship.
Yes, but it got me thinking. Like, if can the opposite happen? Like, could Cerny after the
Crikey? It's like
Cerny, get up here,
You're on
you're on scholarship.
You're not
anymore. I want to see that. Now that would keep people sharp.
Yeah.
That'd keep people sharp.
Well, that's like the NFL. That's the difference.
Yeah.
It's like, you're fired.
You're cut.
I mean, you get fired.
You're on this team? Yes. You're not anymore. You're cut.
I mean,
get your playbook.
That's happened. Like, it's happened. Like, you have a terrible game. You are fired after that game.
Done. Come see me. Bring a playbook.
I don't know that anybody's been. I'm trying to think of a story of anybody in the NFL has been cut Like in halftime, like the first half of a game. By the second half, you're cut. I'd love to know if anybody knows of that story. Put it in the comments because I want a great story.
Well, I don't know if I've ever. Now you've seen a whole bunch of videos of guys getting told they're on scholarship or whatever, and the place goes nuts. I just don't know if I've like the locker room after you won a game. I've never seen that happen that quickly
because it wasn't going to happen, and if he didn't make that,
that's what I wonder. Like, what would
you gave us what we wanted? Here you go.
Were they sitting on it? Were they waiting for one big? They were like, we got him a scholarship. He's got to have one big kickoff return, and then we'll give you a scholarship. Or what? I don't know.
Nick, I don't get the sense of that at all. I get the sense of like they're like he made the plays like as a walk. You know, you got 100 guys on scholarship, and you go, you got 100 other guys that most of them aren't making.
Most of them ain't doing what that guy just did.
Making plays, so you're like, I better give him a scholarship.
Golly, but so shouts out to Forrest Gump for getting the scholarship. Well, not quite Gump yet. He's got. You want one more? You want him to prove it?
You got to earn the Gump.
You got to earn. Oh, Gump's like a.
I guess he's All-American, but it's also an insult a little bit because he's.
I mean, he was an All-American though.
Yeah, okay, we'll put it.
I mean. Instead of, there's the Jet Award for the top punt returner, the returner in the country.
The Gump Award.
There should be the Gump Award for the best, for the very specific skill set of straight line returning.
He's got to return a kick. He's got to run and not get caught, though. Because Gump, I feel like, wouldn't get caught.
Gump would have scored, even though whoever was, I don't know, that Maryland guy was moving.
He was booking, yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Do you want to watch E.T. or Forrest Gump? I got both of them. You want to go? What are you feeling?
So, can we put it on the side by side?
Yeah, let's do it.
The multi-view.
Let's go.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.